Hey, good morning, everyone. I'm going to do an exercise that I call, basically, it's a dynamic barbell jumping jack. I've seen it called a dynamic jumping high pull. I've seen it called like a dynamic Olympic high pull. And really, basically what we're going to do is I'll demonstrate the bar, but essentially a couple takeaways. So if I jump up in the air and land, right, my feet put me in a really good sort of athletic, ready to move forward position. I'm going to get a little bit wider, and that's fine. But I want you to kind of start pretty narrow for this one, okay? So also, kind of the rule of thumb is if you're standing at that footprint, nice and straight, not arch, and I put my hands down, my palms, see how my palms are facing backwards. And if I lift my palms like they're on a wall, like against a wall, like maybe there's a plane of glass that cuts me in half, and I'm sliding my hands along that plane. At some point, my shoulders, they stop. Right? For me to get my hands any further, I have to shrug or rotate and or both. Okay? So what I'm going to do is I'm going into a flexion through my feet to that point only. I'm not shrugging, right? I'm really trying to actually avoid shrugging. What I'm going to do is I'll have the bar in my hand. My hands will be just outside my legs. Okay? And I'm going to jump to this position, right? Go into that high pull position, but I'm going to jump to it. And there, I'm going to return back, okay? Like that. Basically a jumping jack, a rhythmic jumping jack with the barbell. This, we are focused on the direction change, not at all concerned with the mass, right? What I'm looking at, when I'm looking at an athlete, the side or the front through the mirror, I'm looking for this position of my arms. Not this position, not this position that's getting rib lift, okay? We're not lifting it. Okay, I am raising it, okay? So vertical, so at the side of this, when you look at the end cap, this bar is going straight up and down, it's not gonna arc back onto me, okay? So in the programs, you'll see rhythmic, it'll say rhythmic. There's a couple ways to go about this, right? Our goal is rhythm, right? Rhythm is a really good display of power management and power return, okay? Now, that's the goal. It's gonna be difficult to try to get into that rhythm, so it's okay if we start off with deliberate singles. So the deliberate single would be basically from a low hang position, a slight low hang, and I'm gonna return to it. I'm gonna return back to this position, okay? So nice little low hang, okay? Pull, stop. Pull, stop. Pull, stop. That's the exercise. The exercise is, can I dynamically direction change here and here, right? And that direction change is as good as a stop, okay? So before we can get into a rhythm, singles. Once we get into singles and we can find comfort in that single, now I'm gonna run them rhythmically together. And what I'm assessing for is bleeding of power, okay? The indicator for bleeding of power is loss of position, loss of rhythm, okay, or loss of predicted movement, okay? That's what we're really looking for, something that's predictable, reliable, and reproducible, especially with rhythmic, dynamic direction change.